All right, look back is live. Oh. All right, so it says the first part was open up your task 6 project. Make sure your virtual environment is activated. So there's my virtual environment for task 6, env task 6. I activate it. Okay. Now it wants me to create a base.html file. All right. So first I want to open up this project. I'll minimize the old one for now. All right. So before I create a virtual environment, what I'm going to do is I want to take a look at all of the templates that I have. All right. So here I've got the create, the detail, and the list. All right. I'm going to create a base.html. And keep it on the side. I want to see what's repetitive between all these. So this, right? This stuff, and this, right? Basically anything above the body and below the body, right? All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the stuff and throw it in the base. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is, since the content that's in the middle is what's changing, I'm going to put a block in the middle. All right? So I'll say block content. And I'll just replace this with, let's call it task 7. Any questions so far? All right. So let's take list.html now and see what I need to change about it. So now that I removed all the redundant code, all the repetitive code, I'm going to say extends, whoops, one second. Extends base.html. And now I need to put this stuff in the block that I've created here. So I'll say block, and what's the name of the block? Content. So I'll take this, say here, this is block content, and what's going to go inside of block content is this. Okay? Any questions so far? All right. Moving on. Then I'll take detail.html. Detail.html as well. This is repetitive and this is repetitive as well, right? So I'll remove it. I'll say extends. Extends base.html, and I'll say block content, whoops, and bring this there. All right, clear? Now create. Let's bring create over here. Remove the repetitive stuff. Extends base.html, block content, and that's it. So now we've created the base file, and we've let all of our templates use the base file. Any questions on this so far? Okay. So now let's see what's the next step. So step number 5 says configure the static files settings. All right. So I'll go to my settings file. Where is it? Here we go. Settings. Here's the static URL already defined for me. All I need to do is just say static root and say os.join base there static. Did I type this right? We'll Google it and find out. I closed the 1 second. What did I forget? os.path.join. Oh, okay. All right. And that's all I need to do. So this tells me how the static files will be accessed, the URL to the static files. And this tells me where the static files are stored. Clear? Any questions on this? All right. So now that we defined it, now I need to go to the URLs file and import. I'll say from Django.conf import settings. So I need to import my settings file. And then I need to import a function called static. Say from Django. What is it? Here we go. Importing the static function. And then I'll go down. I'll say URL patterns. So I'm adding to it. All right. Static. And that's going to be settings dot static URL, settings dot static root. Let's just maximize this so that you guys can see this clearly. Clear? Any questions about this so far? All right, cool. So let's see what the next step is. It says create a static folder inside your app folder. Okay. Create a CSS file and call it in the base.html. All right. So I'll go to my app, which is called restaurants, new file. Oh, sorry, new folder, static. Now I want to create a new file inside it. I'll call it custom.css. You can call it whatever you like. Okay. I'll call this class my background. And what this will have is a background color of black, and we'll say the color of the text is white. Yeah. Okay. So the next step says call it in the base.html file. Okay. So call base. Where's base? Where is templates, base? So I'll say first, load, static, all right, and then I'll say link to static. what did I call it? Custom.css. Now, you want to make sure that your CSS files are referenced as the last thing in your head. That's what's best practice. Okay? Sure. Any questions on this so far? Yes. All right, so changing your admin page is a different story. You have to create specific templates with specific names, and then you override it from there. No. Django has in their documentation how you can override it. So they let you override it. It's cool. You can override it. You can customize stuff in your admin page. There's a complete tutorial on how to do that. Any other questions? Okay. So now, will this styling apply to my page? Nope. One person said no. Everyone else said yes. So I have to actually use it, right? So, because if I go there now, nothing really happened, did it? Whoops, let's run the server. Oh. I think it's list, restaurants list, okay. So nothing happened yet, so what I need to do is, I need to give it a class, and I give it the class that I created, which is my background. And there you go. And that's pretty much it for the task. Easy and straightforward. Yes? About? Load static, yes. So if you're referencing anything from your static directory using this tag, you need to load it. So just because we're using this tag here, I have to say load static. No, so I can access the static. So let's access the static folder in a different way. So for example, let's access it like this. Custom.css. Still completely works, but because I'm using that tag, I need to load it first. All right. Any other questions? Yes. Sure. 2 files, 3 files, as many files as you want. Yeah, so if you had another file, just call it. Any other questions? Okay. So what we're gonna do now, let's end this. And we're going to jump into media.